Having us patrol this area east of the Orkneys must be a mistake. High Command hoped that we would be able to intercept English warships, selling out to blockade our way to Norwegian harbors. But that hope has not come true so far, and I doubt that it will. The English seem to be having other problems at the moment. Our capture of France has put them at a great disadvantage, and they are preoccupied with securing the English Channel and blockading French ports. Their unprovoked and cowardly attack on an anchored French fleet at Oran 1.5 weeks ago will forever be remembered in infamy. And it showed the world very clearly how desperate they are, how afraid they are, and that they are losing this war. Each freighter that our U-boats sink brings England one step closer to surrendering. Each warship that we send to the bottom opens up opportunities for a possible invasion. I firmly believe that if anything can bring a quick end to this war, it will be the impact that our U-boats have. And to achieve the greatest possible impact, our U-boats have to be like sharks, the great hunters of the deep, searching for their prey, swimming silently and unnoticed beneath the surface until a prey has been found, and then stalking it, following it, and all of a sudden, without any warning, attacking and tearing it apart. But what do you do if there is nothing to strike at? This area is devoid of any significant shipping. Instead of making significant contributions to a quick victory, we are stuck out here, hiding from airplanes beneath the surface, like carp from sea eagles. So I ask myself, what are we? Are we sharks, or are we little fish? While we are submerged, our hydrophones are our only means to detect targets, so our hydrophone operators have to be very vigilant. And today it seems to pay off. Our hydrophone operator has detected something. There seem to be two targets out there. One with a very fast turning screw and another one chugging along more slowly. That indicates a warship escorting something. Maybe something important. We will immediately surface and attempt to intercept them. Hello there, and welcome to a new episode of our amazing Silent Hunter 3 campaign. We are of course playing with the OneAlex edition of the GWX mod, and today we are hunting another target. This time we are on the surface, trying to intercept them, and just now we spotted smoke on the horizon, so let's have a look. Okay, I can see, I don't know if you can, I hope you can see something that YouTube compression allows you to do that. I see a plume of smoke in the distance, and I just see the top of two masts sticking above the horizon. That's all for now. Let's bring the Yuzu to the conning tower.
Jawohl, Herr Kaloy.
And let's have a look through this one. Let's see, where was it? There it is. Maybe now you can see it a bit better. Plume of smoke, two masts. Now my hydrophone operator did report that there might be a warship escorting this thing. And actually I see another plume of smoke right now. Do you see that? It is very, very small. Very hard to notice. It's just there. Okay, so there are indeed two ships, at the very least. And right now the top of the funnel is coming into view. The weather situation is in some points ideal, in others not so much. The visibility today is excellent. There is no fog at all. There are just some light clouds in the sky, nothing too significant. That means that I can of course spot these guys at very long range, but the opposite is true as well. If I get into visual range, they will be able to spot me from very far away. So I need to be careful. Maybe try to stay behind the horizon or something like that. Let's take a quick look here. It's impossible right now to determine the course that this ship is traveling on. Is it coming a little bit towards me or away from me? I have no idea. I can, however, make an educated guess and say that it is more or less broadside onto me because the masts are so far apart. That doesn't help me much though. So I have a choice to try to get closer or to change my course and try to get ahead of them. That sounds like the better option.
Jawohl, Herr Kaloin. Neuer Kurs 324.
Oops. Let's turn the boat. I want to gain a bit on them. Right now I have no idea if I'm faster than they are or not. You are looking in the wrong direction. But you know what? It's good that these guys are so vigilant. They are looking in every single direction because you cannot focus just on your target. You need to be vigilant. There might be planes in the sky ready to dive on you at any second from an unexpected direction. Yeah, let's reacquire our target. There it is. Still incredibly hard and difficult to say what we are looking at, but what I can say, what I can determine is if I'm gaining on them, and yes I am. Most definitely. So that's good. That should mean that I will be able to get ahead of them without too many issues. I would love nothing more than to remain on the surface until it gets dark and then do a surface attack. But it is now 6 o'clock in the evening, so until we get some semblance of darkness, we will have to wait about 3 to 4 hours. And I don't know if I can stay surfaced that long and shadow them for that whole time. I don't know if that would work. I could go ahead and call them in pretty soon when I have determined their speed and their course, or well, when I've estimated it to a certain degree. There's the other plume of smoke. There it is. Still can't see what kind of ship this is, but I guess that must be the military ship that seems to be escorting whatever this is. Yeah, okay. I'll just keep on intercepting them and I'll update you on the situation once there is something to report. The situation has not changed by much. I still don't know what I'm even looking at. Our targets are over there. You can see the bigger plume of smoke and the smaller plume of smoke. And that's about it. I don't know their nationality, although I think at this point it is safe to assume that this is a British ship if it is escorted. And we are still on the surface. The sun is still very far from setting because we are very far north. You can see where we are. We are even north of the Orkney Islands. And even when the sun does set, it will never get truly dark. The horizon will always remain bright. And as it looks like right now, we would be approaching from the bright side. So there is really no sense for us in waiting up here on the surface, trying to wait them out until darkness. It's simply not going to happen, and each minute that we are up here, we are risking a lot. An airplane could come along to check on this convoy and to see if they are undisturbed or unshadowed by submarines. So that means that we will now initiate our attack. Right now I'm closing the distance to them, and then I will dive the boat as soon as I think that I'm close enough, and we'll try to attack them without being noticed by this warship. That's the plan. Will that work? No idea, but we'll try. We will certainly try. A little update on the situation. We continue to close in, and now I can actually spot the freighter. I can even see its hull right now. What I don't understand is that I cannot see the hull of the escort. What the hell is escorting them? How small is it? I have no idea. But yeah, we can start to see this ship. And it looks to be fairly substantial. What is interesting, it looks like it has some kind of camouflage painting. This isn't a warship, right? No, I don't think it is. I think it's a freighter. But still, very interesting. We will see what this turns out to be. And we have to think about how we want to attack them. Here's what I'll do for now. I will continue on this course until I have a broader profile, and then we will turn towards them and initiate our attack run. Something very exciting seems to have happened. They have changed their course. I'm pretty certain that they have changed their course. The AOB is not indicative of how they looked last time I had my periscope up. They must have changed their course. Did they also change their speed though? Here's what we'll do. We will turn our boat and we'll take a speed reading.
Ruder 1-1, Grad Steuerbord.
And I think then we will begin our attack run. Periscope 0.
Ruder 0 Grad.
That should be fine. The turn will stop now, the boat will bounce back a degree or so. That should be perfect for us to start the clock. Yeah, you can see down here in the lower right corner, the boat is now turning to the left. That could absolutely ruin your measurement. So you have to give the boat a bit of time to settle in on its new course before you start to measure the speed of the target. It's still going, you can see it here, the dial is turning. Slowly, but that's absolutely enough. Okay, it's stopping now. Good, we can do it now. Okay, ready? Measure speed. Now. And yeah, this is definitely an enemy freighter. It has a red flag, so very likely British. And it seems to be armed as well. I think there is a gun on the stern. Length of the ship, maybe 130 meters. We will use that to determine its speed, of course. Right now the clock is ticking. It doesn't seem to be a fast one. And stop. Down periscope. 42 seconds. So if we do say that this ship has a length of about 130 meters, that would put the speed at about 6 knots. If it is a bit shorter than that, then that would mean it's even slower. 5.5, something like that. Let's dial that in for now. 5.5 seems to be a good compromise. But as always, it is difficult to estimate the ship's length accurately. I can say, however, that we are looking at an almost 90-degree AOB. Can I still can't spot whatever the hell that is. They definitely changed course. How will I attack them? Because now I'm not in a good position anymore. Down periscope, turn the boat, speed up.
Neuer Kurs 240. Jawohl, Herr Kaloin. Ein Drittel Fahrt voraus.
I might have to use a neat little trick to attack them. Let's try to turn our boat and to adjust our speed so that we can keep them on a constant bearing. That will be my goal for now. I did order new course 240, we are almost there. Maybe I will have to use the Ausdampfverfahren to get this target. If they hold still for long enough, that is. So if they don't change their course again. Because if they do, things are getting more complicated. And I might be forced to just shoot at them. Okay, here we go. Turn is being finished. Where's periscope? Give me eyes on the target. Let me make a preliminary estimation here. We seem to be gaining on them, but that could also be just a consequence of the turn. Yeah. Now we are of course drifting back on our turn, but I think the angle that we are on might be good enough. Let's wait a little bit for our turn to end. And then we'll go up again. By the way, I did not set anybody onto the hydrophones, so let's do that right now. Also you guys, I want you ready on that station, and the engine crew, you know what, might as well switch them out. It's good to do that from time to time, so that your tired men have a chance to rest, while your rested men have a chance to work. Good.
Kontakt, Frachter, Entfernung gleich
Turn
bleiben.
completed.
Auf 315, große Entfernung.
Now let's have a good look at them. Are they gaining on us? Yes, they absolutely are.
Entfernung gleichbleibend auf 331, große Entfernung.
And I'm already going at the speed of 5 knots. That turn has really screwed up my attack run. Give me 30 degrees more. Down periscope, we don't want to get spotted, of course. And we could start to work on our torpedoes that we want to fire. So our torpedo situation is as follows. We have 3 electric torpedoes loaded and 1 steam torpedo loaded. I would prefer to use the electric torpedoes as per my orders, to prefer using electric torpedoes to create the illusion of mine hits. So I think I will want to fire a salvo consisting of tubes 1 and 3. Those are electric ones. Torpedoes, I'll set a depth of 5 meters for now. We can have a quick look at the current torpedo orders. Impact only. Fast speed forbidden for the steam torpedoes. Depth is to be set to draft minus 3 meters with a minimum depth of 3 meters, 2 meters in good weather. So, draft minus 3 meters. If we have a quick look at this target, I can imagine that the draft of this ship is 6 to 7 meters, just by looking at it. So 5 meters is perfect. I could even lower it to 4, that would still be really good. That should make sure that the torpedoes are not bouncing off the hull. Okay, our turn has completed. Are we gaining on it, or is it gaining on us? It is still gaining on us. That's a problem. That is a real problem. Weapons officer. Good. We are sailing on a course of 266 We are having a look at this ship with an AOB of... difficult to say, really. Really difficult to say. Something like maybe 80 degrees? That would put its course on 295. I don't have a lot of room to play with here. Let's try though.
Jawohl, Herr Kaloin. Neuer Kurs 288.
We have not been spotted. The escort, whatever it is still sailing ahead there. Good, let's turn our boat once again and hope that this will be enough to maintain a constant bearing. If not, then I really have to rethink my approach. Turn is being completed. Good, good, good. I could also just increase my speed, but I am a bit afraid that the escort, whatever it is, has a hydrophone, and that could screw up my approach. So I'm hesitant to do that. Good, we are completing our turn, our speed is back up. Turn completed, the boat is now settling on a new course, so it's turning back slowly. That too will be completed in just a moment, and then we can have another look. See if the ship is still getting ahead of us or not. Come on, stop this. I need this to be stable. Looking good. Up periscope, and let's have a look. Put crosshairs on it and just watch. Definitely still gaining on us. This is simply not working. Okay, so we are not using the Ausdampfverfahren then. We are not doing that. Distance to target. Let's say that they have a mast height of about... well, it's difficult to say, but let's imagine that the bridge is about 10 meters high. Masts will be at about 25 meters. Optical height 1.6. Go away. 1.6 optical height. At 25 meters, that puts him at 3,800 meters distance. Plausible. Does this thing, whatever it is, have a hydrophone? Really good question. Let's find out.
Jawohl, Herr Kaloin. Große
Increase speed. Let's see if this will help us. Maybe we can still salvage this situation. Coming up to a speed of 6 knots now. That does mean that we won't be able to keep our periscope up for long periods of time. Only very brief exposure is permitted. And even that will be supremely difficult, as you can see, since now the periscope starts to suffer from vibrations. Trying to guesstimate, basically, if we are gaining on the target or not. Very difficult. I think we are gaining on them now. Lower our speed to 5.5. Okay. Oh, still too much vibration. But we are getting there. And we are indeed gaining on the target with this method. Escort not turning our way. That's a good sign. So here we go. This is where we really start to do this. We are now maintaining a speed of 5.6, 5.7, something like that. And we are slowly gaining on the target. I don't need a weapon officer. Let's turn in a little bit. Give me left 10 degrees. So I still have a chance to maintain a constant bearing to target if I time things right. Today we are trying to get our target by shooting with the Ausdämmverfahren method. For this method to work, we need to be on a direct collision course with our target. How do you achieve that? Well, first you adjust your speed so that the target is drifting very little when you look at it through your periscope. And then you can make fine adjustments by changing your course a little bit, your own course that is. And if everything works right, then you can place your crosshairs on the target, and you will be able to wait for a few minutes, and the crosshairs will still be exactly where you placed them, on the funnel of the target. Right now I see that I have very little drift. Very, very little. I did have my crosshairs precisely on the middle of the funnel, and I can see now that after 2 minutes they are starting to drift to the front of it. So we are almost perfectly positioned here. Let me have a quick look at the escort, see what they are doing. It seems to be some kind of patrol boat, and they are not doing much, to be honest. Oh, they're changing course. I hope they haven't spotted me. Anybody spotted me? I don't think so. Down periscope. Let's not risk it. I'm going quite fast, so there's always a danger. So I did see that I'm gaining slowly on the target. I think I want to adjust my course just a tiny amount. So let's come left.
Jawohl, Herr Kaloin. Ruder 0, Grad Backbord.
Let's come left very slowly. And I'll try to get the boat onto a course of 258.
Jawohl, Herr Kaloin. Ruder 0, Grad.
Okay, I've stopped this turn. Now the boat will of course drift back towards 258. And once that happens, we will try this method again, but I think this will work very well now. We have to wait for the turn to end. For the boat to completely stop turning. Otherwise your periscope will drift, of course. Let's wait just a little bit longer. It's still... Now it's stopped. It's not drifting any longer. So we are doing this once again. We are raising our periscope, placing it straight on the funnel. There we go. And we are starting the clock. Down periscope. If we are on a collision course, then our TDC allows us to get a perfect hit solution. This is how you do it. I have already selected tube 1 and 3, which are electrical torpedoes, because my orders are to make the impression that the enemy ships are getting sunk by mines, not by torpedoes. So we are using electric torpedoes. We have to look at our own speed, which is 5.7. 5.7 knots. And we are dialing in our own speed as the speed here in the TDC. So 5.7 more or less like so. There we go. The next variable that we need is the angle on bow. And for that we will dial in not the actual angle on bow of the target, but we will dial in how far the target is off our own bow. So we are looking at it at 295 degrees. That means it is 63.5 degrees off our bow. We are looking at the starboard side of the target. So that means we will dial in 63 degrees. Starboard. Actually, let me do something really quick that will help us a little bit. it won't actually. Shame. 63. Very hard to do here. I wish that the that you could magnify the dials to make this more precise. But yeah, 63 should be about here. That's good enough. Our speed 5.7 has been set. That's good. Let's raise our periscope and verify that we are still on target. Yes, we are. That's absolutely okay. Down periscope. So, we have set our speed. We have set the AOB. Now all that we need is the distance. But first let's prepare the torpedoes. I will set both torpedoes to a depth of 4 meters. They will of course run slow and they will be armed with impact detonators. That's good. As for distance, target mast. Let's see if this is the target's bridge. If I could tell the size of a human right now, there are a few people back there, so you can tell, you can make estimations. Each deck is about 2 meters high. I guess the masts are 25 meters high, more or less. And yeah, this is looking perfect. Okay, let's measure the distance then. Distance mast height 4.2. Bring back the periscope to here. Down periscope. Optical height 4.2. Mast height 25 meters would mean 1.3 kilometers away. Good. That's good. We're in a position to fire. Open the tubes. So what I did right now is I'm on a complete collision course. The Ausdampfverfahren makes use of this fact that we are on a complete collision course. And the TDC can be set up to work with that. Enter your own speed as the speed in it. Enter the target's degrees of your own bow as the AOB, but take care that you are selecting starboard if you're looking at their starboard side. And then enter the distance, because you're not shooting your torpedoes out of your periscope, you're shooting them out of the front of the submarine. So there is about 30 meters distance between the periscope and the tubes. That's why you need to have a range, so that the torpedoes know how much they need to turn. Alternatively, I could simply turn my sub towards them right now and fire. But this works well too. Let me make another range estimate here. Optical length is up to... Oh, come on. It's up to 5. Down periscope. Yeah, 1.1 kilometers. Moment of truth. We will fire a salvo. I need to still determine how large the spread will be. Spread will be... three degrees. Let's make it 2.5. Something like so. That's that. And now have our crosshairs directly here and fire. Turn the boat away. And we will watch. Let's see if this actually works. Because I know some of you are not convinced. What kind of magic is this? But you can already tell this is gonna work. This is gonna work very much. If you want to know more details about this, I do have a very old video on my channel about the Ausdampfverfahren method, but it is really old. I made that many years ago and I had a really bad microphone at that time, so please be understanding that the audio is not very great. But this is looking excellent. Very nice. That will be a hit. 2 hits if we are lucky. Both torpedoes seem to be running straight and normal. No problems. Oh, one torpedo could be going a bit aft of the target. Pass behind it. That's why you always fire 2. Ah, no. No, no. This is going precisely as I planned. Hit 1, hit 2, goodbye freighter. There goes the truck. Oh, wonderful. And there go people. That was a very quick sinking. This thing is going down rapidly. Jesus. And that's all she wrote. Vanished within a minute. The screws are still turning, oh my god, the boilers are still active. Driving her straight beneath the surface. This is incredible. Incredible. And gone. Just like that. Gone. We now need to slow down. Because now comes the time when things could get hairy for us. Report on nearest contact, moving fast, closing 236. Let's have a quick peek. They are coming in my direction. Yes, yes they are. Now that I don't like. Turn that way. Turn that way. I will remain on the surface for now. Just for the moment. So that I can follow the progress of that little escort, whatever the hell it is. Torpedo reload. We could start that, so let's bring the weapon officer over. Is that enough? Yeah, they're going at it. Let me add another torpedo officer to them to speed things up. "11 minutes until we have our final reserve torpedo loaded in Tube 1. Good. Completing the turn, hopefully we'll be able to get away from the escort. Now let me reiterate what we have just done and why this is working. Let's go to the map. So let's imagine that you have... let me draw this out for you. Let's say you have your own sub and you have a ship. And the ship is going this way. Now what you want to do is you want to go on a direct collision course. Let's say it is like this. But how do you get there? First of all, you need to play with your own speed. Let's say that you are sailing this way and the target is gaining on you. That means it is too fast for you to catch up. When the target... well, let me show you. When the target arrives at this point here, then you will only be here. So you need to adjust your speed. No, you'll only be here. That's... yeah, we are playing with the speed first, not with the course, excuse me. then you will only be here. So in order to reach the intercept point at the same time, you need to speed up, right? And once you do, you will notice that the target is not drifting as much through your periscope as it used to. But you will see that there comes a point when adjusting your speed just isn't precise enough. You will always be off by a few degrees. So what do you do at that point? At that point you start to play with your own heading. You change your heading so that the target remains within your crosshairs for multiple minutes. And once that is the case, you will know that you are on a direct collision course with it. And you two will meet up here. That, of course, means that the angle between the target and yourself will remain constant all the time as you close in. Like so. So at different points in time, the angle on bow will be exactly the same. And that's why this method works and why you can use the TDC in the way that I did. So this will allow you to set your own speed as the target speed here. It will allow you to set your lead angle. So the lead angle is the angle of your bow. So if the target is, let's say it's over here, then your lead angle is 20 degrees. If it is over here, then your lead angle is still 20 degrees, and you need to consider which side of the target you're looking at. If you're looking at the starboard side, you will then set 20 degrees starboard in this example. And then you need a rough estimation of the distance, and you can immediately fire. But you have to make sure that you're really on a collision course, and you do that by placing your crosshairs on the target and waiting for 3 to 5 minutes, and then check if the target is still on that same bearing. If it is, then you can use this method. Now, speaking about target, etc. Escort, moving away, bearing 204. Moving away is something that I like to hear. There they are, they're searching. Oh, it's a small motorboat. They're searching, but they don't know where I am. Good. We should be able to get out of here. We will bring the boat down to 40 meters.
Jawohl, Herr Kaloin. Neue Tiefe 3,8 Meter.
And we are leaving this area. I'll update you once we are out of the immediate danger. I'm currently coming to periscope depth so that we can make a quick check on our progress. I think that we are successfully evading this little escort. They seem to be falling behind, judging by the hydrophone. Where are they now? Here they are. They are not closing in and they are staying behind us on more or less the same bearing. So I think we are evading them quite nicely. Let's come to the periscope and let's verify that. There they are. Yeah, they're still circling back there. No progress at all in catching us. We are getting away from them. I might even be able to increase my speed. They seem to be quite far away now. Down periscope. You might ask yourself, why am I not surfacing and fighting that thing? I could do that. Sure. But why? No, seriously. I would be surfacing and I would be shooting at them. And while I might hit them with one of the first shots, and I might sink that little, completely insignificant, irrelevant, outdated little tub with, what, 5 people on board. At the same time, I would put my boat with 50 people on board at risk. Because even one hit from them could be enough to damage something very important, like my engines. So why risk it? There's no benefit. None at all. I would just be risking it for nothing, really. So, at this point, we are once again diving to 40 meters.
Neue Tiefe 3,9 Meter.
But this time we will speed up.
Jawohl, Herr Kaloin. Ein Drittelfahrt voraus.
I'm not even sure that they have hydrophones on board. And if they don't, then, well, they have no chance to to locate us anyway. But even if they do, I think we are far enough away that we can risk this. And it should help us to increase our distance to them. So, let's make another cut here. Once again, back to periscope depth, and let's take another look. They're somewhere behind me. Let's raise the periscope. Can we still see them? Oh yeah, there they are. Well, there's the plume of smoke that they're producing, but apart from that we can't see anything. So, we are definitely evading them successfully. They can't see us anymore. If we surface, they might be able to. But other than that, we are perfectly safe. If we just stay submerged until the sun sets, we should be absolutely ready to get away from here. Awesome. Lower the periscope. Unfortunately, there was nothing that we could do for the crew of the merchant that we blew up. That should really be up to the little escort to maybe save a few men. But I'm not having high hopes for them. The explosion was extremely violent. Obviously, that merchant was carrying war material, probably ammunition and such. And it blew up very violently. I think we achieved our goal that they won't be sure that it was a submarine that attacked them. All that they can report back is that all of a sudden a massive explosion ripped the ship apart. And that's that. So, mission accomplished for today. I will now continue to get away from here. And we will continue our hunt. Let's have a quick look at what we have actually sunk. It was a medium steamer type 2 of 3,300 tons. That's an alright target, that's pretty good. That's really pretty good. I'm taking that. Nice. So, without further ado, I want to thank you very much for enjoying today's episode. I hope you did. And if you did, let me know in the comments. Also, if you have any questions, please write them there. I'm trying to answer them as soon as I can. And I hope that you will be there for the next episode. Until then, have some really great days and goodbye. Also, don't forget to subscribe. Bye!